Nidhogg. He is the source of our suffering. If we do not fell the worm, these endless clashes count for naught. I am painfully aware of the hypocrisy of our request and the self-inflicted nature of our predicament. But should it serve to deliver my people from their unkind fate, gladly shall I bow my head and beg for aid. I expect, nay welcome, the coming storm of scorn and disdain. I really like Aymeric. He's such a balanced leader who's entitled to what he's inherited, as opposed to Alphino here, who's like, don't you know my family has money? My family, oh. Though these circumstances are far from ideal, the desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in a common cause. Sir Aymeric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home's at stake. It's almost as if he cared for his people. Oh, I can scarce imagine. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Oh, the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders. I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Now, if we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent, because we are equally valuable in all of this. I bet he's already there. I bet he already told him that he negotiated with Ishgard. Probably didn't even mention that I came with him. Except maybe like, oh, and did you see the Warrior of Light had to like tag along? Yeah. Yeah, I let him come along. I thought he might learn something. Oh. But I like Aymeric. Do myself a favor and rewatch this cutscene after finishing Dragoon. Okay. I leveled Dragoon on this character to 50. We got Dragoon to 50 this week. Was I supposed to hear you? Your lips moved and you didn't say anything. Quick! When Alphino comes in.
It is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
So it was voice acted.
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
Because it's like super important.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
That's what I said. It was all my idea. I figured it out.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
How did they say that and literally me and Minfilia didn't overhear them? That whole little thing, what happened there? I also like that Alphino was like blown away by Amaric, like reasoning his way through it. And then he's like, yeah, I totally realized it all on my own. Like, oh my gosh. I mean, they don't even know how important they are to our strategy. I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support, I leave to Alphino. He insisted. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to our fellow adventurers, and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Querthos, and it is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slackborn on the brewing conflict, and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp on the practical challenges we may encounter, and seems to be the one fixing why our coffers are suddenly losing money lately. I trust her to investigate it fully. There's no way that Lala is not stealing our money. No way. "'Tis impossible to predict how many will rally to Ishgard's call for reinforcements. I do not envy those responsible for planning the city's defense." Well, look who it is. Look who it is. So, Minfilia has committed the Scions to Ishgard's cause, has she? Though she makes her pronouncements with unshakable confidence, I can only imagine how agonizing it is for her to arrive at this decision. So many lives at stake. Flamine is aging really quickly. Really quickly. She started the expansion at like 32? 35, something like that. She's like easily late 60s now. Just getting older and older. I mean, at some point, she's going to be Crypt Keeper. I don't know. And the more you guys tell me how young she is, every time somebody in chat tells me how young she is, the older she gets. We are rather close to Querthos, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. I went ahead and pulled out money for that. They were 6,000 gil apiece, no need to price check. A good receptionist is always ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Meteor. I have 101 things to discuss with Slaffborn, and money is not one of them. Alright.
I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Querthos, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard's done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. As for rounding up volunteers for the fight itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send any of my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I'm certain headquarters will stay the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf. You might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms.
Well, let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Alright. You wanna fight with me? Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay away from Ishgard.
Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, and that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Olamigo by the name of Wilrid was there with the Fourth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you?
No.
God damn it. I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilrid stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Uldar. So now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company's a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley crew of mercenaries, adventurers, Grand Company veterans, and an obnoxious brat leading us. The only thing as binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for freedom of all, and that and steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilrid's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then in this, just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on. And I'll bet me a good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any road. You got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know, and I'll be seeing you, Meteor.
Right now, as it sits, I bet that the main storyline has allowed Tataru to frame one of the other Crystal Braves. Likely Ilred or the little Lala he's talking to. Yahoo, whatever his name is.
So, Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sounds of this siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break terms of my contract. What to do, what to do.
I bet even Koji Fox fell for it, and she doesn't get blamed like she should be.
Sell me the blade of Ishgardians. Well, them the dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me a fair share if the coin was good. I worked for one of them knights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody orc he did. Still, I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse.
Alright. I don't think anybody's gonna say anything about me riding a horse inside. Oh, volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? Oh, I think not. Dragons claimed the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Twas to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than be hurled behind an icy wall. Alright. Freaking love the fat chocobo. Well, if it isn't the weapon seller herself. Oh, there you are, me dear. Did you sway any hearts? Wanna do, eh? Well, I added it to mine. That makes 3 or 4, not including Slapborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one of Revenant's tall veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Especially if you wore fine armor. What if we sold armor? Oh! I've been so caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Little Alphino. Apparently, Alliance leaders are convening in Udar to discuss Ishgard's plight. And they've requested your presence as usual. Anyway, you best make your way to Udar or you'll be late. Alphino said he would meet you in the Royal Promenade. It's building up rapidly. You guys said this is a long patch, but this is coming to a head very rapidly. So unless there's like a victory lap, they've got some serious Campbell level stalling coming in. Because it feels like we are ready to go to war. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?